You're listening to Kay's Corner, where host Kay of the Do Better Sis podcast interviews dope entrepreneurs, influencers, community and cultural activists, creators, business owners, and other dope women of color just like you. Tune in to be inspired, sis. Here's a snippet of Kay's latest interview where she sits down with our new friend to the show, author and Black Girl Magic herself, Krys Kantrell.
And how long have you actually been writing poetry? Not necessarily the book, but just poetry in general.
I think I started around 2000. So it might maybe like 8 or 9 years, I think. But it wasn't really as I guess it wasn't really as developed as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been working on it for about 8 years, I think.
So did you start with written poetry, or was and I'm asking this for a reason. I've read most of the poems in the book. Did you start with like written poetry, or was your poetry more like a spoken word type of thing?
I started writing. I don't really do spoken word because I'm pretty shy. But yeah, everything's pretty much written. Okay, did I answer your question?
It does, but it answers my questions, but then it gives me more questions because, like, for example, like I'm not gonna give the book away because you got to. We're gonna drop the details on the book in just a moment. But like I read, like even like the very first one, the very first poem that I come to, which really caught my attention, is called Black People. Is the title. And when you read through it, or when I read through it the first time, I was like, wow. And then I had to go back to the top and read it again, and it kind of like the cadence is very much sound like a spoken word that just happened to be written down, you know? So that's why I asked about that. So, but yes, definitely. So the name of the book, you guys, is called Grimoire of a Black Girl, and it is by Krystal Kantrell. You can Google it. It's Googleable. Okay, you can Google it. I'm gonna give you some details on where to find it at the end of this. But so let's talk about this journey into book publishness. So is the book self-published? Did you self-publish or did you?
Well, I went to actually reached out to it's a funny story. The week before, I talked to the girl who helped me publish my book. Mm-hmm. She has a company. It's called Black Gold Publishing. So I'm not self-published. I went to a company. The week before, I was gonna try to self-publish, and then for some reason I waited, and someone shared a post of a girl I've never met before saying she started her new company. And like she was like, this is what I always wanted, and she happened to be a Black girl, and I was like, well, that's what I want to do. And like, I didn't really want to do it by myself, and if I didn't do it by myself, I wanted a Black woman to help me.
Okay.
And, so it turned out perfect. We worked it out. I sent a message. I reached out to her through Facebook, and it all happened like within 2 months after I reached out to her.
Wow, 2 months? Like
yeah, it was short. It was a because I already had most of the things I wanted to put in the book there, so it was just I just had to put it together.
2 months. That is awesome. That is so awesome. And what's the name of the publishing company again?
It's called Black Gold Publishing. Black Gold is one word together.
I'm looking at it on the back here. Okay, we're gonna have to check them out. I'm gonna have to check Black Gold Publishing out. We're gonna check them out. So 2 months. So you already had your material. You reached out to Black Gold Publishing. 2 months. The book is ready. It's ready to be sold. Has it done well, Krystal?
I think it's done pretty well. I feel like I haven't been pushing it like I should,
Mm.
because like I said, I'm a little reserved, so it's kind of hard to push something that's like, you know, part of you out that you're not used to sharing. But I think it's done pretty well. I've gotten pretty good reviews. So yeah, it's been well received.
Yeah. Well, I definitely need to do a review. I'm telling you that a lot of these poems really, you know, being a black girl myself who like to write, I haven't really did a lot of it, you know, recently, but like when I remember, you know, being in high school, going to college,
Mm-hmm.
and like having to write stuff down and just kind of organizing it. I'm gonna have to look for that stuff. But I remember like that urge just to put it down on paper first, just to get it out of my mind and put it on paper.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's in itself is very therapeutic, you know.
It is, and that's exactly what my book is. It was therapy for me. So I'm hoping it does the same thing for others that it did for me.
Definitely. So we've gotten 2 months, we've gotten this out. It's out there circulating. It's doing pretty decent. Any plans to put out a volume 2?
I am. I'm not sure when it's gonna come, but I am working on it. I'm definitely working on it. This is not the end.
We definitely don't. This definitely cannot be the end. I see great things in your future. Now is writing the only creative talent that you have, other than music?
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now. We want to do we like the write. Was it difficult to you mentioned earlier, you know, about, you know, being a naturally shy, kind of introverted personality, that is difficult to share something that you know, beginning, you didn't necessarily have the intention of sharing. Talk to the people about how, because I'm like that myself, and I know we're not alone. There's creatives out there who they write or they do music or they craft or they build as a therapy, not necessarily thinking, hey, I want to share this with people, but then something, I guess there's a trigger or something, and you kind of release your creation into the world. I want to talk about, did you find that very difficult to do with the poetry? Did you find, once you decided that you were going to share it, did you find it difficult to kind of release, to have that release?
Let me see. I mean, I guess not really, since it's out. Like, you mean like the release I get from writing, or?
Well, just putting the words out there. You know, sometimes, you know, when you're writing or jotting down stuff, and you may be, you know, it may stem from like an actual personal experience that kind of made you either angry or sad.
Oh yeah.
Or, you know, sometimes that when we write like that, when you write that down, in that moment that you're writing in, it's for that moment. You're writing for yourself, you know, and then you accumulate these writings over a period of time or what have you, and then at the end you decide, hey, even though I didn't intentionally write this for anybody else to read, I feel like somebody may need it, so I'm going to put it out there. Is that a difficult thing? Was that a difficult thing for you to go back and look at the work and then say, you know what, I'm going to put it out anyway, even though it wasn't meant for written down for public consumption per se? I have this opportunity and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to put it out there.
Okay, I get it. It was difficult at first, but like how we were talking about how writing is therapy.
Mm-hmm.
You think about how it helped you, and I think as a creative, you kind of want to help others, and the way I help myself is by writing, and I figure if it helped me the way it's been doing, I'm hoping it can do the same thing for others. So once I realized, you know, I might be able to help other people by, you know, sharing what helped me, it became less difficult.
All right. Well, that's you know, I hear that a lot from creatives. We're very we are our worst critics. So when you're looking at stuff, sometimes you're like, I might shouldn't put that out. I'm gonna take that. You know, you kind of take stuff out and then you say, well, it doesn't sound right if I don't put it back. So you have to, like, there's that debate there. But that makes sense, though. That makes sense.
And then sometimes you gotta be like, bump it. I'm gonna put it out and just let what happens happens. So you gotta be open with it. Yeah. It's hard, but it'll happen.
Yep, and it's out there. I mean, me and myself and the Do Better Sis podcast. We are really enjoying this the book. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the book is called Grimoire of a Black Girl, and we are speaking with the illustrious author, Miss Krystal Kantrell. So we've talked about, growing up. We've talked about, school and your HBCU experience. We've talked about, the difficultness of releasing your creative and your word into the public to see, what kind of feedback you're going to get. So the next question is, what is next? What, finding out about you or getting more about your books, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Krys, and that's just KrysKrossed. And you can find me on Facebook at Krys Kantrell. That's where you can find me.
Right. And give us the two social medias again. Spell the first one for us again.
Twitter is at Krys, and it's just KrysKrossed. And my Facebook is Krys Kantrell, which is just Krys and then Kantrell.
All right. So we would definitely be linking that in the for the people who didn't get it or didn't have your pencil and everything or your phone ready. We're definitely going to be linking it in the bio for the interview. Definitely, Krys, I from the bottom of our hearts, we really appreciate you taking this time out with us today, answering our questions. I hope it wasn't too invasive.
No, it wasn't, but I really appreciate the opportunity you guys have given me. That's how I want to say it to you.
I thank you guys for tuning in to Kay's Corner. Today we spotlight Miss Krystal Kantrell, author, HBCU alumni, South Carolina, Georgia resident, Miss Krys Kantrell. Everybody give her a hand. Thank you. She came through. We really appreciate her here for spending some time with us and kind of getting to know us. And we will definitely be looking out for future projects. So thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Do Better Sis podcast, and I'm in Kay's Corner.